This is the light I had to put close by. Hi, sorry, I had to do a little bit of fixing. This is Mary Hernandez with Genesis Kingdom. I come to you with part 3. And I stood with the title, The Real Didn't Reject Me. They rejected the word of the Bible that I had. The messenger, the message from the messenger. And they knew that. And that's why, and the reason why I stress that so much, you know, as I was reading this and then I got this and I put it in my text. So when I come to give you this message, when I went to the park to deliver it to you, and it's like, you know what? It was all a head game that they were trying to do. It's almost to make you feel that you weren't worthy. You know, that it was them, that you weren't. Oh, I think it was a couple of them that put on there. Oh, stop being so picky. Oh, stop doing this. Stop nitpicking. You know what? Lord, understand. You're already God's masterpiece. They were rejecting the covet, remember? But they were rejecting the word of the Bible. They didn't want the truth to come out. They didn't want the deliverance of the world to come out. And by accepting you into a covet, then the word of the truth would have came out. And you got to remember that the guys had made themselves. Adam had made himself that he was God, and everybody was worshiping, and all women were fighting over him. And it wasn't even him. It wasn't even him to begin with. Everything was about my Father. I've always said this, you know, because at the beginning, I honestly even said, you know what, this is not even about me. This is bigger than me. My Father said, no, you are it. You are it. And so are you, 144,000. You are it. It is about you. It is about you and it is about me. Is it about our birthrights? It's about our inheritance. It's about deliverance of the world. So it was exactly about me and it was exactly about you. And who is with us is our Father. Who our Father is, our royalty, our lineage of royalty, blood, the real Jewish people that we come from heaven. You know, and that is what they were trying to get us to, for it not to come out. So remember, I told you, when you hear the other coaches, I'm sorry, no disrespect to them, but for them to say, oh no, you were rejected. The rejection came from this. No, they never rejected you. They were rejecting the truth of the Bible. They didn't want it to come out. They didn't want the truth to come out. They didn't want you to know who you are. They wanted to take your identity from you. That was taken from us. That's why we were down there. Come on. You know what I'm saying? So it was about us. They were rejecting us so we don't know who we are and we don't come into our birthrights. We don't preach. We start shunning evil, sin. And if that happened, guess what? Then we get our birthrights back. But if we continue being in the sinful world, it wasn't going to happen. But not because of them. It was because we were living by sin and not following the 10 Commandments. So they didn't want that to come out. All I have to say is my Father loves you and you were his perfection. You were his masterpiece. He loves you. All of you, all his children. The God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, our Father, loves you. Never, ever sit there and be like, hey, that girl didn't like me. That woman didn't like me. That man didn't like me. That boy didn't like me. My Father made you in the image of him. You were his masterpiece. And that should always be number one in your heart and your soul. And that we belong. We're his daughters. And he loves you. This thing's not even hot. It's pissing me off.